Part 5 of the question and answer book, The Mancharians' Newest Civilization. In this audio file we will get to know the Mancharians a little better and find out how they exactly intend to work with me and provide only answers to questions I would raise. However, they volunteered to talk a little more about themselves and how they got to be where they are now, and we are advised to connect with our higher selves and thereby get on our own pathway of soul progression. All sessions were recorded in 1995 in Tempe, Arizona, of the United States of America. Mancharians, it is our wish to give to you the information to do with as you please. We will be conducting this program for you at your convenience, for you must set the ties and the lines to be successful on any prospect. There must be definitions of this, your culture is yet to learn to implement, definitions. Director, are you going to give us those definitions? Mancharians, in a later time perhaps, but preliminary efforts of consequences in pertaining to the act of conscious endeavor with understanding of the laws of the Creator must come first and foremost. We are much gratified to be speaking with you this evening. We do thank you of your charity upon the nations with the dealing with different mentors. There is much to learn, and so even in our category do we henceforth proclaim this to be ongoing truth to be pulled down, in order to pull each one of you up to your best and greatest potential and standard. Director, thank you. Is this elaboration going to be a question and answer forum, or do you have, by human standards, prepared the text which you, on a continuous basis without my interference, download from your plane? Mancharians, conscious endeavor never provides for interference, for we all work as one. We are one. Indeed, join into any such endeavors of bringing the truth unto the people of your choices. It is always highly recommended for greatest efficiency that one and each and all do so hereby learn to work together. We invite indeed your participation, and participation of any and all those around you who are interested in or conducting our survey of truth we hand to you. Director, yes. Thank you. My concern was, if I ask you too many questions, I do not want to interrupt with your elaborations on whatever topic you intend to speak of. Mancharians, as we state for the second time tonight, all participation of a willing and gracious nature is none other than reaching for the highest plane on your own endeavors, and thereby, sanctioning your upward journeys. Interruptions, as we have said, are always subject to change of theory and change of brain waves. You may define it as mind changes. Director, we wish to put in book form whatever we can extract from communicating with you. And it is for that reason that I will feel very much at liberty to ask questions as opportunities arise. Do you have any specific topics that you wish to speak on for the purpose of the inclusion in the book and the material most pressingly needed as a message from your plane to the human race? Mancharians, as we have stated before, in order to define for your race what is suitable material, we have much to share. We need get on with subject matter, do you not think? Question 3, Director, the human race is in a big mess as you full well know. It is because of ignorance of universal laws. What are your suggestions as to what the individual should be aware of mostly in order to contribute to a correction of this disastrous situation of today? Mancharians, disaster. That is always an interesting concept, for disaster in the conscious ability of mankind only performs itself to be within the lower limits and doth need much conscious endeavor, as we have stated. Mankind is on a road where upward journey, and he needs to find his place within the mediocre surroundings or realms with his own dimensional frequencies. This is always difficult for him. The difficulty lies in the subject matter of estrangement, not so much at this point in his evolutionary process of being separated from other consciousnesses, but rather, he has separated from his own consciousness, thereby not being able to graciously perceive even the first and greatest law in the universe, for how can he love another when he has not connected himself to himself, or rather, his higher conscious endeavors within his plane or reality? We would suggest on behalf of all mankind, and here speaking in words of which he may be able to partake of, that he would direct himself to be more subjected to his higher being, who, once it evolves, of which you would call the higher self, or holy guardian angel. He needs to understand once and for all, that his higher self is also progressing in evolutionary measures. This seems not to be rapidly understood on this plane, or dimension, or reality, whichever words would suit and strike the heart of man for understanding. We would further suggest to you that this higher self or higher consciousness is but standing at the doorway waiting to grow as well. For it can only pick up and understand in definitions as much as it is given to join with the outer rim of the Holy Brethrenhood dimensional equinoxial pattern. We would commend your race, however, for they seem to shutter themselves in corners, and at this point up to now we have not felt the need to contact anyone, for it would be too much for them to understand. But as we see rapid change, and the heightening of the light within the souls burning like a torch, this does please all that are one. And we therefore send truth like little sparks of light into the hearts of each of those procreations with a grand delight. We are not a people as you are, for we do not join together as individuals. We are one in every aspect. We are as one body, and one light, and one source, and one day your people even, as the eons of time pass, will come to understand as in a flicker of light, how this just may be so. And that given time they will be all able to progress and participate in this grand endeavor of time. For time and space are eliminated, as we no longer find the need to eat. We feed on the air and the substances. We take all the light from the cosmos. We feed on that through the air. And here we do our best to explain unto your people in words defined and given to us from your own essence. And those words we can hold onto and process. Hopefully they will be of a helpful cause in defining our meaning unto your people. We are the Mancharians of the northern orbit, the constellation of the god you deem to have been as Apollos. This may be difficult for many of your people to understand, but what is important are not names, but the understanding of definitions. And once you get past definitions, then the joy in the soul will break forth like a fountain of great light. For your resources will then become unequaled to others who are still on their upward journeys. You must remember, that we come not as messengers, we simply have a duty to perform. And we do not have the same meaning for your definitions of caring and love and compassion, as you think you know it as. For your people yet have to learn what the L in love means, for they have scarcely touched upon it. We are the Mancharians. And we come as duty performed. 3 people on your plane have we chosen, for we are not the messengers. We simply perform our duty. And where we see the light sparks, we simply infuse them with sometimes more than they can handle, in order to stretch their abilities. Do not think mankind has discovered the oneness of consciousness, for their focus is limited, and those who believe they work within their higher essence or Godhead, are fooling the rest of the population from time to time, for they do not understand the process and therefore only go so far on their journeys. And this is why by fact we are here. We are the Mancharians, and we have to come to perform a duty, which we do for every new race. You will call any writings, if you so desire to put them into such linguistic form, the Mancharians' newest civilization. Though we are older than the stars themselves, we have come to elaborate upon your definitions, and this may take some time, but preferably to your schedule of time. We will proceed nightly until we are finished. Rennie Sentana-Ries, our presence on internet is freeearthsystem.net. As well as, starshipfederation.atspace.co.uk. My presence on Facebook is, facebook.com/Sentana-Ries. It is our intent to present to you listeners the words of the Mancharians from the book The Mancharians' Newest Civilization in audio segments of approximately 5 to 9 minutes in length. Happy listening.